Carterton Police Station has gained a new tool for tackling off-road countryside crime. I met up with PCSO Colin Davies, who showed me round the vehicle.
And we're here out in the countryside, and you've just received a very exciting new vehicle.
We have, yes, they have indeed. It's a vehicle we've got from Kubota, and it is the newest member of our vehicle fleet at Carterton. It's the first time we've had a 4x4 vehicle, which is great. So it's certainly something a bit different, quite unique. But yeah, we're very pleased to have it.
And what sort of crimes do you hope it'll help to tackle in the area?
Well, certainly out of Carterton in West Oxford, we get some diesel thefts, we get some plant machinery, scrap metal thefts from some of the farmyards. We've relatively recently had a couple of arsons on our patch as well, some straw and some hay bales up at a couple of our farmers' fields. And generally speaking, at certain times of year, more seasonal, we get hare coursing as well, and some wildlife offences, crimes from theft of wild plants through to livestock and hare coursing and various other wildlife offences.
Obviously, being in the Cotswolds or in Oxford, generally, have you seen sort of a rise in the level of crime, or has it sort of?
Well, we haven't seen a rise specifically in crime, but it's more obviously rural communities. Their perception of crime is quite high. And their concerns about how we're dealing with rural crime, from preventing it in the first place through to dealing if we have had a crime that's been committed. It's more trying to make sure that we're dealing with it in the best way possible and having a vehicle that we can use to access the areas that traditionally we would never have got to before. So,
absolutely. And what sort of areas can it cope with?
Oh, I mean, excellent. I mean, since we've had it, I've been on to farmyards. I've been on a lot of rural tracks. I've been across a lot of rural fields. It tackles very rough terrain. The arson that I had been dealing with relatively recently, it was about 1.5 miles from the road, and the traditional police Astras, it wouldn't be suitable to take them up, whereas this took it all in its stride, and that particular landowner was delighted that I could actually get there and see where the crime had happened. So.
And how fast, dare I ask, can it go?
Oh, well, I'm not sure exactly the top speed, but it tends to, what speed it goes, it tends to stick at. It's very, it's a very safe speed. It's not a fast vehicle, obviously, but it can go anywhere. So that's the main thing with it.
And I've got to ask, does it have sirens? Will we be seeing it blaring down the street?
It doesn't have sirens. No, it's. Obviously, it's marked so the public know that it's an operational police vehicle, but it doesn't have sirens because it's not a traditional response vehicle. But obviously, hopefully, the public will see it very clearly in its markings, and they'll know that it's us on the land, because that was one of our purposes. We wanted it to be marked so the landowners knew, obviously, it was a police vehicle and that we were there for, obviously, a lawful purpose.
With this new vehicle having already aided rural crime in the area, it looks like vehicles like this will become a familiar sight to police forces in the area. Alex Wolfe reporting for That's Oxford.